This podcast is produced by the Harwood Productions Podcast Network. To learn more about the network and to find more of our shows, visit us online at www.harwoodpodcast.com.
Hey, it's Cindy Harris, and I have a wonderful cupcake for you. It's called an Amaretto cream cupcake. They're delicious just by themselves, and I have a fun little way to dress them up that'd be perfect for the holidays. Now this recipe makes 12 cupcakes, so we're going to get our muffin tin out and line them with 12 cupcake liners. And you see I've got some cute little holiday liners. Have a look for those at your party store. They really dress up these cupcakes nicely. Now that our pan is ready, in a small bowl, we're going to measure out 1 1/4 cups of flour. And then to that, we're going to add 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder. And then 1/8 teaspoon of salt. And then I'm just going to get my whisk out and I'm going to whisk those ingredients together. Next, we want to get 5 tablespoons of butter. And if you've let it soften, that's great. If you haven't had time, like I haven't today, just go ahead and cut it into a small dice. And I find that that creams up really nicely like that in my mixing bowl. Now, once the butter starts creaming up, I'm going to add 2/3 cup of sugar. And I want to let this whisk around until it's nice and fluffy. And then I'm going to add 2 eggs, and I'm going to drop them in one at a time, making sure that they get beaten in well after each addition. Now it's time to add our flavorings. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of almond extract and 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. Now I'm going to take a moment and just scrape down my bowl and my paddle. I want to make sure that all the butter is in the bowl so that when we start adding our dry and wet ingredients, they can mix up nicely. So I'm going to first start by adding 1/2 of our flour mixture, and then I'm going to add 1/2 of our milk. I want a total of 1/2 cup of milk, but I'm just going to add 1/2 of it now. Let that go on a slow beat and then add the other 1/2 of the flour and the other 1/2 of the milk. And then I'm going to put this on a medium speed and let it beat for 1 minute. Now we're going to go ahead and do one last mix with our spatula to make sure all the flour and all the other ingredients are well mixed. And then we're going to go ahead and start filling our cupcake liners. Now I want to divide this batter into 12 equal portions. So what I do is I start with my medium cookie scoop, go through and give each 1 scoop, and then I go back and top each of them off. That way I know that each cupcake's got about the same amount of batter, and that will make sure that they bake nice and evenly. Now these are ready to go. I've preheated my oven to 350 degrees, and they're going to go in and bake for about 18 minutes. Now when they come out, they're going to be a nice light color like this, but do make sure to test with a toothpick. Pop that into one of the cupcakes. It should come out nice and clear, and then that means that these are baked all the way through. Then what I do is I just let these sit on the counter here for about 5 minutes so that they can cool. Then I go and I get a fork and I just gently lift each of the cupcakes out of their well and pop them onto a cooling rack so that they can cool the rest of the way. With these cupcakes, it's important that we really let them sit and cool completely before we frost them. Then to make the frosting for these cupcakes, I'm going to put in 4 tablespoons of softened butter into my mixer. I'm using the whisk attachment. And then I'm going to add 3 cups of powdered sugar. And I'm not going to bother sifting the powdered sugar. I'm just going to put it right in the mixing bowl as is. Then I'm going to immediately add 3 tablespoons of heavy cream and 3 tablespoons of Amaretto, which is an almond liqueur. And then just for an extra little hit of almond, I'm going to put 1/4 teaspoon of almond extract in. Now, once the ingredients are all in the mixer, I'm going to give it one final scrape down, and then I'm going to put the mixer on a medium-high speed, and I put the timer on for 4 minutes. I want to get a lot of volume and air incorporated into this frosting. Now, this is just my personal preference, but I do like to take the frosting out of the mixing bowl and put it into a smaller bowl. I find that I have a little bit more control when I'm frosting cupcakes if it's in a smaller container. So the cupcakes are nice and cool, and now it's time to frost. Now, because of the air that's in this frosting, it's very nice and billowy, so you can really pile this frosting on as high as you would like it. Well, these cupcakes are beautiful frosted white like this, but if you did want to decorate them a little bit for the holidays or a special occasion, here's a real easy way to do it. Get some maraschino cherries and dab them on a paper towel to get some of the moisture off, and then cut each cherry in half like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 1/2 of a cherry and I'm going to pop it right in the center, and I think that looks really cute. But the other thing you can do is take some slivered almonds, and what I do is I take 5 slivered almonds and I just press them into the frosting right around the little cherry half. It almost makes like a little flower. This is such an easy way to dress up a cupcake, and they look so festive. Now, before I let you go, I've got big news. I've been nominated for a Tasty Award honoring the best in food and fashion programming. Well, I've been nominated for Best Home Chef in a Series for my show, The Farmer's Market Gourmet. Now, this award does have a viewer's choice piece to it, so if you'd like to vote, just go to our website and go to the Cupcake show notes, and I'll have a link there to the Tasty Awards voting page. Voting does end on January 5th. Well, these Amaretto cream cupcakes would be perfect for any occasion, and they're great for the holidays. Now, if you'd like to give them a go, visit our website, go to the Cupcake show notes, and I'll have the recipe there for you. And as always, if you have any questions, send me an email. I'll see you next time.